Hey guys, welcome to this episode of The Rachel Cruze Show. And I'm so excited to have Callie on, who is the founder of But First Coffee. She is a mom, she's a wife, and was a teacher, now turned blogger, because she helps people all over help organize their homes, have an efficient house, and do it on a budget. So Callie, thanks for being on.
Thanks so much for having me. I've been really looking forward to this. I'm a huge Rachel Cruze fan, so I'm excited to be here.
Oh, I'm so glad. Well, I love anything when it comes to just being efficient in life, even though I'm not always the most naturally organized person. So people like you, I'm like, you can help me so much. So what made you start doing all of this stuff?
I started like way back. I'm coming up on a decade of been doing this. So I started before like I knew that you could make money doing this. So for me, the motivation has always been that like I love creating content. I started as a blogger, that started making YouTube videos, and then it just sort of grew with me. Like my content grew with me in the sense of like I went from unmarried to married, and then we paid off our debt and affordable living stuff, and then I became a mom and a homeowner, and then my following just sort of grew along with that too until eventually it became my full-time job.
That's amazing, amazing. Now, one of the things you kind of focus on is Amazon specifically. So do you just get a ton of stuff off Amazon? Is that what you found?
I do. Yeah. I mean, it's sort of a weird thing because I feel like I get access to what the average person would do, but essentially with the goal of testing it out so I can sort of share like what's the best, what's not the best, some tips and tricks for navigating Amazon in the best way. Because I think we all like the convenience of Amazon, but there's like definitely some pros and cons there. I spend a little extra time on Amazon than maybe the average person for that.
Okay, so how do you narrow down what you pick? Because it's like this black hole of anything and everything imaginable. So what's like the first like couple of things that you do to really get started?
It's hard. Definitely one of the things I do is I follow other people like me, like other people who are Amazon influencers, if you will, because I know what I go through to vet a product. So I know that they're doing that too. It's sort of that way. It's like you're getting a recommendation from a friend as opposed to just, these random reviews and you're not really totally sure. So I definitely have some people I like following because I know they use Amazon, and Amazon has actually gotten really good on their platform about like showing influencers. I'm sure you've started to see it, like the Amazon Lives, the Founded on Amazon and all of that. So I love going to those sort of places and finding people who I like, who I sort of jive with, and then getting product ideas from them. But my favorite place to find products on Amazon that I feel like a lot of people, like it's this like weird hidden, I don't know why Amazon makes it so tiny, but on the Amazon homepage, there's this like little menu bar on your top right. And when you click it, you can get all sorts of like additional ways to drill down. So they have deal busters, they have new releases, they have currently trending. And I love it because you can even drill down more and find small businesses, women-owned businesses. And it makes it so easy to kind of like drill down specifically to the type of stuff you're looking for.
Oh, that's so good. Okay, so I'm interested because you mentioned reviews. And I feel like I've heard the rumor of like, they're not all real. What have you found? Is that true or is that false?
I think some of it is true. It's tricky especially when you get to we all know we've gotten to that like Amazon product, like specifically Amazon fashion, where you're like clicking through and like the shirts are completely separate shirts. You're like, how can I even trust a review for this? So I always look at reviews to check validity, I feel like, because I have heard stories where people are like, once a product gets good reviews, they'll actually swap the product. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
So I do always check reviews, and I check reviews for both reasons. Like I check to see if the reviews themselves are like valid for the product that I'm buying, but I also check them just to like cross-reference the reviewers. Cause I feel like sometimes people will leave 1 star and they'll be like, oh, it was, the package came damaged. I'm like, well, this isn't about like the product. Yes. Like it's good to know, I guess. But, so sometimes you kind of have to like cross-check the reviews that way. So reviews are tricky, but I always look at those. I like to look at photo reviews a lot because I feel like at a quick glance, it gives you the most information.
Yes. Okay. So I love Amazon for multiple things in my life, but even for clothes, I've gotten bathing suits. Callie, I had like 2 bathing suits this past summer were Amazon. I was like, this is amazing. But I'll go through all the pictures because I'm like, okay, you find your body type, all of it. And I'm like, these are real people. and their houses. So thank you, random people, for posting yourself in a swimsuit that I can be like, okay, is this good? Because I'm like, that's real. That makes me feel good. So when the pictures are up, I'm like, okay, that feels like a real person.
Yes. And you could totally, I feel like you can get a better idea for how, like you said, how it's going to fit and how it's going to fit for your body type. Photos are the first place I go, as opposed to just trying to like scroll through all of them.
Absolutely. Okay. So what are things on Amazon that you're like, I would absolutely avoid? Don't do this. And then what are things that you're like, no, this is a great purchase? Because for you specifically, you do everything, a lot of stuff on Amazon, from clothes to home organization stuff. Like, I mean, it runs the gamut.
Yeah, I've bought probably across most of the categories. There are a few things that I generally suggest not buying. The first one is I always say like things that cost $5 or less, which seems kind of random, but whenever you have to buy something that's $5 or less, they're going to make you buy it in bulk because they don't want to send you something for only $5. So now all of a sudden you need like, I don't know, whatever you're buying, like a pack of pencils. Now you got to buy 4 packs of pencils. You didn't really need 4 packs of pencils, because the one thing I hate more than spending money that I need to spend is having more stuff in my house than I needed. So definitely that is always something to look out for. Buying something in bulk. Sometimes it's just convenient. We're like, oh, I really need these pencils for my like kids' school, or I don't want to go to CVS. But I always try to steer clear of that. Convenience with Amazon is amazing, but it's not always great when we start to like fall into the convenience too much for that. And you end up buying bulk of stuff you don't need.
Can I tell you, my kids, now that my daughter's in elementary school, we pencils, like they're everywhere. So I was like, oh, I need a pencil sharpener, like 1 or 2. It came in a bag and I should have known, but it showed up and I was like, we have 50 of these little plastic things that aren't really even that great. And now I'm like, I threw them all away. At one point, because I was like they were up in kids' rooms. I was like, how do these dang sharpeners get everywhere around our house? It drove me nuts. So yes, it's the same thing.
And
I would rather go buy it.
That's more inconvenient than if you just like taken the extra 10 minutes on your way home to like get
2 nice ones and that's it. I know, absolutely. Okay, so that's good. So things
always
not
that.
to buy.
And then again, products just like in general, some products like will come with all these extra pieces. I find this a lot with like kids' toys and electronic stuff. They like try to add in all of these extra little pieces. I avoid those ones too. A few other ones that I find are not always the best deal that I always kind of will shop around is kitchen appliances. Not that you can't get good kitchen appliances, but I feel like a lot of the name brand kitchen appliances, I'm talking about like, you know, a toaster oven, a blender, like the countertop stuff. Usually you get better prices for these if you're shopping like in some of your main department stores, like you're going into a Walmart or a Best Buy. Not always, but those are ones, especially because a kitchen appliance, you're going to spend a little bit more money on it. Take a second, go to Google. If you don't know this, you can go to Google, you can type in a product, hit the shopping tab, and like you can price compare across the web, like all of the websites. I find that for some reason, kitchen appliances, again, sometimes we resort to Amazon because it's convenient and the reviews are there, which is nice. Like I do a lot of shopping on Amazon for the reviews, but then sometimes we'll buy elsewhere because I can get the better price. So use Amazon for the reviews, but kitchen appliance is another one I always check. And then another one I always warn people about is cosmetics, if it's not being sold from that brand. So when you're shopping on Amazon, like when you're on the product page, at the very top of where it says the product name, there's like a blue link that tells you the store. Like if you're buying Tarte mascara, it'll say like, you know, from Tarte, and you can click on Tarte. It'll show you Tarte's Amazon page.
Okay.
If it doesn't bring you to Tarte's Amazon page, this is like some third-party seller, and there's actually a lot of knockoff cosmetics. I have friends who have bought their favorite products and been like, wait, did they change the formula? And it's because it was a knockoff.
Oh, you just kind of blew my mind, because you know it's sitting literally on my front porch. I got a notification before we started filming. Mascara. Maybelline. I was like, I'm running out of mascara. And I literally just went to Amazon. I was like, I can get it in 2 days. And I just haven't come. Now I'm so nervous. I didn't click a blue link. Callie, man, that's so good to know.
Yeah, I find it's not as big of a problem as it used to be, but you definitely, especially if you start seeing a few listings and you're like, oh, this one's a few dollars cheaper. And you kind of like it. Always check it. And then also like Apple and Google products, the same thing happens. There was actually a lawsuit in 2016 because Apple said there was a ton of Apple chargers listed on Amazon and they weren't like actually Apple chargers. So that's another one. I feel like, you know, Apple and Google products are kind of like a competitor to like Amazon products, like Amazon Fire and the Amazon tablets and all of that. So if you're going to buy an Apple or a Google product, like just go to Apple or just like buy it through Google instead. just because, I always just get nervous I'm going to buy something that's not what I think I'm getting.
So good. Oh, those are so helpful, Callie. Okay, I love that. I'm totally storing it in my own personal brain. I'll remember that for next time. Hey guys, do you want to know how to make your money go further when you're on the hunt for new styles? Then you've got to check out jane.com. So jane.com/Rachel, you can save 65% on clothes, accessories, home decor, and other fun finds. They bring you new deals from over 2,000 boutiques and designer brands every single day. So head over to jane.com/Rachel if you're ready to refresh your style and to check out their latest deals while they last. Okay, so what are things on Amazon that you're like, yes, do it all day long. It's worth it. It's the best.
I have a few brands that I love shopping Amazon. Specifically, the Amazon Essential brands has kind of become my go-to generic brand because I find the quality is always so good. The price point is always really great. And they have, in the last 5 years, I feel expanded into almost everything. So Amazon Essentials is everything from toiletries to home products to clothing. And everything I've gotten, I've been really, really happy with. And the price point is so good. And because it's Amazon and you're buying it, it's just buying grocery brand through the grocery store. You're going to get a really good price. If you use Subscribe and Save, you usually will get a really good Subscribe and Save offer on it. So I love any of the sort of the Amazon brand stuff. And that's another one you can really search down. If you're searching for something, they'll say shop our brands. I've always been really, really happy with those compared to other generic brands that I buy in store. So that's another one that I always tell people is a great one. I mean, I love buying my, don't get me wrong about cosmetics. I love buying my cosmetics on Amazon. I always make sure that I'm buying them through the site.
Yes, for sure.
Especially around where I live. I don't have big department stores near me. So for me, it's a great way to get some stuff that I wouldn't always be able to get near me. And another one that's sort of bizarre that, again, because I don't have huge stores near me, is actually pantry items. So organic dry goods, organic snacks for my kids, or just all natural sort of stuff. I don't have a good selection where I live. And I feel a lot of people don't think about Amazon for that. And you can find really, really good quality stuff on Amazon for dry pantry stuff.
That's so smart. I know, because sometimes with food, I always just think, well, it's going to be fresh food and I'm going to just get it from the grocery store, all of that. But if you're looking at things that don't have to be refrigerated and, and it can travel and you're like, yes, stock up. That's so smart.
Absolutely. And I love they get better prices that if you're going to go to some all natural food store or whatever,
right.
I get really great deals. And it's sort of a surprising one to think about. Nobody thinks about Amazon for food, but.
Yeah, that's so good. Okay. Amazon Prime. Worth it, not worth it. I have my opinion, but
Amazon
I want to hear yours.
Prime. I think of Amazon Prime as like a Costco membership. I just had a friend the other day. She's like, "What do you think about having a Costco membership?" I'm like, "It's great if you use it right." Right? If you use if you get a Costco membership and you just go into Costco and you're just buying all of the stuff because you're in Costco and it's cute and it's great, it's not going to work out for you because now you end up with all of this extra stuff. An Amazon Prime membership, in my opinion, is the same way. It's worth it if you use it well. So if you're taking advantage of what it's offering you, so obviously Amazon Prime is going to give you the quicker shipping and the free shipping. So you need to be someone who's shopping on Amazon enough that it comes out to whatever is it $15 a month now, which isn't too hard to do. But make sure you're using all of the other stuff that comes with it. So we use the Amazon Prime streaming service as one of our main streamers.
Yeah.
That's one of the main streaming.
All the streamers in our life. There's a lot.
way we watch TV. We don't have to pay for Netflix and we don't pay for Hulu because we get that through a membership we're already paying for. They have music, they have audiobooks, taking advantage of that and making sure that you're not using it frivolously as you would with Costco and you're just sort of buying stuff. You're well, I've got Amazon Prime and let me just go on and buy a lot of random stuff,
Yeah, absolutely. No, being intentional with that, I'm it is, because you'll end up with a house full of crap that you're why do I have all this? I don't need it. But you feel oh, I just got to use it. So yes, being strategic about what you use. And that's a good point too of everything else that's out there that you can use, not just the free shipping, because that's, I think, what is top of mind for a lot of people. Okay, so for someone that's yeah, I do Amazon sometimes, maybe not the right way. What are 3 tips to say, okay, when you go shopping on Amazon, make sure you do this, this, and this?
Okay, so one, especially if you're new to Amazon, you're like, I got the Prime membership. Number one, I love is subscribe and save. I feel like not enough people use it. If you don't know what subscribe and save is, you've probably seen it when you've checked out on something where it's like, do you want to buy it one time or subscribe and save? The basic idea is you subscribe to it, you say how many times you want it to come in, like once a month or once every 3 months or whatever. And as long as you have 5 things that come to you that month, you get a certain percentage off. Sometimes it's 5%, sometimes it's 20%. So I love it, one, for convenience. I have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. So like, I don't always like remember to get diapers and paper towels. And so like to get those things for convenience is really nice. But also because I save so much money on these, like when I price compare the diapers, and the Amazon brand diapers are so good. They're so good. When I compare the price to what I would buy if I went into Target, it saves so much money. So I feel like a lot of people, they're not using that. One, for the convenience, and two, you're just saving
money in general.
so
That's good. Subscribe and save. Okay. Love that.
Yeah. Two, I feel like as far as like the best times to shop, there's not really like I don't think there's any like special secrets, like special times of day or anything. I do think the Prime days are really good. They do put things on sale. If you have certain things you want to buy, it's definitely a great time to do it. I love Black Friday on Amazon. I almost feel like the Black Friday deals on Amazon are better than the Prime Day ones. So I always do like a lot of my Christmas shopping during the Black Friday. So that's another one. It's definitely Black Friday on Amazon.
That's so
or
good.
I guess it's Cyber Monday now. I don't know. It's like the whole
Yeah,
weekend.
it's all of it. But one of those days that they just put a bunch of stuff, yes, to take advantage of that. Okay. That's
and then
so
I think the last one is I love to add to cart and not always check out right away. And there's extensions. Like, I don't know if you ever use the Honey app on your Google Chrome. It will tell you when things in your cart drop a lower price, because a sneaky thing about Amazon is the prices are never fixed. Like, they are changing all of the time for everything. They're like raising the price and then putting it on set. There's all of this crazy stuff. Like, I never say the price of anything in my videos, because like tomorrow it could be $1 cheaper or $1 more. So if there's something you're considering buying, consider using something like the Honey app, because it'll send you notifications and be like, hey, this went $10 off or whatever. So that can be a great way to like kind of wait it out and see if a better price comes around.
Oh, so good. Callie, this is such good stuff. Such good stuff, because, or I know for me, and I feel like a lot of people I know, it's just a part of the rhythm. It's like Amazon, it's there, but to be smart about it and don't just get lost in the black hole of the app, but really think through some things, be strategic, be on guard on some stuff, have fun with the other side, and it's awesome. So thank you so much for all of your tips.
You're welcome. And you have to think about Amazon, they want you to go on there and buy a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? So you can't always use it the way they want you to use it. You have to kind of use it the way you want to use it.
Figure out your own path. I love it. So one question I ask all my guests when they come on is, what is one thing you're doing with money that's creating a life that you love?
Oh, I love that. Definitely committing to living debt-free is huge. And I think like keeping new financial goals, like always having new financial goals that we're working on. Because I feel like you need some type of goal that you're working on to keep you motivated to budget. Like when you're like, oh, I really shouldn't spend the extra money on this. You need something to be looking forward to. So like when you hit one, like always set another one. I feel like that's the biggest one for us that always keeps us motivated.
That's so good. So good. Yeah, it keeps that forward progress continuing, right? And it's so smart. Exactly. That's so awesome. Well, congrats on being debt-free and like doing all this stuff, Callie. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I love it. Love it. Well, thank you again for being on and giving us all your tips. Love Amazon, and so thankful for people like you that can help us. And where can everyone find you and follow you and get more tips?
Yeah, so I'm on YouTube at But First Coffee. So if you just But First Coffee on YouTube. But my website, butfirstcoffeeblog.com, would bring you to all the different places on the interwebs where you can find me.
Yes, all there, all there. Awesome, you guys. Well, make sure to check out everything Callie's doing and save some money. And remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.